How you doing today? My name is Linnell Johnson. I'm the owner of the Pink Slip Strip Club in Brooklyn, Illinois. And this is my tale of a twisted youngins.
Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Myra.
And this is Desi Dash.
And it's your boy Dave.
And to my left, we have Linnell.
Yeah, Linnell Johnson of the Pink Slip Strip Club.
He owns the Pink Slip Strip Club, and I'm very excited about
the
this.
Notorious
First of all, first of all, before we get started, thanks for coming. Thank you, man. But
listen, I've been a fan of your strip club since I was in diapers. I wasn't even old enough to even know what it was. Just I used to hear about it so much. It was like I used to think the strip club was like a fucking sanctuary for my brother and them and shit. Like they used to come, they used to be happy every time they talk about it. It's like, shit, I want to do that shit when I get older, you know?
So, well, yeah, definitely.
My
but
God.
before we get into like all the meat of it, like how did you become the owner of the Pink Slip, and have you ran the business before, prior to it? Like how
I ran the business. I was in the business basically when they opened the doors, because basically it was.
And how long ago was that?
That was back in 2003 when my grandfather went into my dresser drawer and took $20,000 for a license and took $80,000 from my uncle.
So he needed in total $100,000 to start.
Yeah, $100,000.
Did he inform you all?
He informed us that he was going to open up a strip club, and we basically laughed at him.
Right.
And I was out doing my thing. I was hustling in the street, so I didn't care about a strip club at that time until I was incarcerated in Chicago, Illinois, and I heard
Cook
the
County.
world famous Pink Slip.
Right.
So I called home, and the guard let me call home, a special phone call, and I said, "Hey, Gramps, we rich." He said, "No, I'm rich. I talk to you when you get home, and don't let anybody know that you are possibly rich." So basically, I had to be low key in jail, because you know how that go. You got money, they're coming at you.
Background, man.
So basically, what happened was over the years that we were basically a family ran business.
Okay.
Right.
So we basically ran things according to a family. You know what I mean?
Right.
We saved a lot of money. We saved millions of dollars. We basically ate out the door money. So if I needed a Mercedes-Benz, it came out the door money. So if you paid $10 or $15 to get in, thank you very much. Thank everybody that participated at that door, because that took care of a lot of people, like 8 families.
That's what's up, man. So with the rebrand, like with the reopening of it in June, from my understanding, how do you change the branding that has been associated with the Pink Slip? And I do feel like it may be a little problematic because of like the past that it's associated with. What are the new plans to kind of recreate that?
Well, basically, they basically was I tell you what happened with the Pink Slip. Poor management. You can't run an adult entertainment business micromanaging, like basically make sure everybody's in. You have to watch your money. My grandfather always taught us you have to be at that business 24 hours a day or you will lose money. You know what I mean? We had security guards pressuring customers. If they didn't have an identification, they could pay $100 to get in the club. That will be no longer. We had a barbecue pit across the street where guys would hang around basically buying barbecue and basically robbing the customers in the parking lot. Unfortunately, we had an incident in 2012 and 2015 where a security guard killed a customer that was waiting in line after a dispute or fight. We had another guy that get shot. So basically, our primary target is the guns. We don't want any more guns, okay? You will be searched. We're going to spend a lot of money for security, off-duty police officers. Now, if you smoking and having a good time, the police will not bother you if you're smoking whatever you're smoking and doing whatever you're doing, as long as it's not guns involved. And that was the aura of the Pink Slip. You could come there after all the joints closed in St. Louis, and you can dance, party, and do whatever until the wee hours of 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning without, you know what I mean, without interruption. You know.
Yeah.
Very informative, man. Like, you just put it all on the table.
Oh, yeah.
You put it on the table, man.
I ain't know it was like that, because what you talking about is real. Like, you have to invest. When you're dealing with I'm starting to learn, like, I never knew. Like, say I slip and fall in the store. Am I suing the employee that's mopping, or am I suing the store? I'm suing the store. That kind of goes. Same thing with the club. if a person slips and falls in the club or anything
Or
happens
get shot
in the
in-
club,
or get shot.
yeah, or get shots
It
in the
falls
club.
back on the company.
That cost us.
Yeah.
That cost us like $3 million.
What?
Oh,
wait
shit.
a minute.
Goddamn,
Wait a
man.
minute.
Don't tell me that. I'm a broke
hold on.
motherfucker.
When the
Don't
person got killed, that cost $3 million?
That cost us $3 million.
Damn.
Wow.
That cost us $3 million. It was $1 million for the lawyer out of Belleville, which was Beasley, Townsend, and someone else. And they charged us $1 million to take the case. The young man's mother, Monique, she got $2 million cash.
Okay.
But
My
that basically
God.
scratched the surface because we was playing with like $13 million in savings, and he made about another $6 million. So basically,
Y'all was making money. I didn't think y'all was making money.
I knew
like
it was
that.
money to be
I
made.
didn't know it was
Oh, yeah.
money.
Like I said, since I was in
that
Diapers.
You showing that ass. You guys not
Like
showing
you
that
said,
ass and
cause
titties.
it's not only that you got a nightclub that, oh yeah, people have a nightclub from when they're coming over from St. Louis over into the night, you know?
Actually, the Pink Slip started on the corner. Comes from the north side of St. Louis. Our
Facts.
dancers, our customers. So basically, after they basically joined in, all the St. Louis joined in. We had stars coming in, flying in.
Who
We
was in
had-
charge of getting the stars? Like you all had like a booking? or-
No, we basically had radio stations, different black-owned radio stations in St. Louis that supported us. They would bring them. They would bring them over in cab, taxi cab. They would do whatever they could do to get them there.
Real.
You know what I mean? So basically, that was good. I met a lot of stars. I took a lot of pictures. I can't find the pictures anymore. So once I go back in next week, they'll be changing the locks, and I'll be getting the new
So-
keys, and we'll be in there renovating.
Did you
man.
you became the solid owner of this go round, right?
Yeah, this go round I became the solid owner, which was my birthday, which was January 22nd. My mother basically gave me the Pink Slip as a birthday present. Okay, she sold me the Pink Slip for $1. Okay, now February 25th we'll be going in for the millions. We'll be going in for the money. So basically, what I'm gonna tell everybody is, family will fuck you first.
Always.
Always. So basically, we're going to change the venue up a little bit. We're going to do a lot of rappers, and we just want rappers and naked bitch. We're dealing with the
There you
new,
go.
We're dealing with the new generation here.
Yeah.
You know, but minus the guns. I don't want any bullshit at my club. You come here to have a good time. You know what I mean? Ladies don't like to see gangsterism. People that's been in the streets all their life, they don't want to see that gangsterism. They don't want to go. Why do you go
Exactly.
to a club to shoot, to fight, to argue?
Women.
You had enough time before you got to the club to do all that.
Right.
It seemed like they need a platform to perform.
Yeah.
And we got dancers. We don't need.
Yeah, you don't need nobody. You don't need no
more
extra
studio
performers.
dancers.
They ain't even getting paid for it. So
Right.
they not on the payroll.
You
You
know,
right,
so-
man. Like they gang banging over breakfast, man. You right.
Thank
you
you.
shouldn't be at.
Thank you.
You shouldn't be at. Like how we said, you can't be at the strip club out here trying to live your best
Man.
life and then out here trying to ruin
Man,
my
you know
best
what?
night.
St. Louis is like the mecca of entertainment, and that's what we did over there all our lives. I started doing that when I was like 12 years old. We had regular bars and stuff like that, and actually, Bottoms Up actually was a friend of he's still a friend of ours, and he basically, we didn't even know what to do with it. We was going to sell the Pink Slip. It wasn't even the Pink Slip. It was called the Garrett's Lounge.
Okay.
And we was going to sell it for 10 grand. And I told my grandfather, don't sell it. I walked out the house. He decided not to sell it. 2 months later, I was in the kitchen. My grandmother, he said, what do I name a strip club? She walked in the bedroom. She came back out with a Pink Slip. She said, you name it the Pink Slip. He said, that's what I'm going to name it, the Pink Slip. So a lot of people ask us, why do we name it the Pink Slip? Was it the Pink Slip as far as employment Pink Slip? And no, my grandmother went into her closet and came out with a Pink Slip, and that's what we basically named it. So basically, my grandfather died in, I think, 2003, and we basically left things the way they were, family. But over the years, people got bolder. When you start handling millions of dollars, and you start hiding money, and you start building $500,000 homes, and you're getting your daughters a $1.2 million homes, and you don't invite the family to your new home, I smell a thief. So we got the thief January 14th, January 22nd.
Facts. There
I'm
we
going
go,
in on the
man.
February. Next week, I'm
Talk
going
that
in to get
shit, man.
money. I just want the money.
Nah, I'm with you, man.
Hold on, wait a minute.
minute.
Wait a minute, though. We can't just blow over that.
Nah.
People was getting houses built for $1.4 million.
Oh yeah, you know.
He said the kids, not
kid-
them,
that's
the
what I'm saying, like,
kids.
man.
Basically, what my uncle was doing, he was basically waiting for my mother to die. She's not she's in good health, but he had it planned out in his head that, you know what I mean, I had a 13-year run, this is okay. We caught him going out the back door.
God damn.
So basically, if you're in business, whether it's family or not, a verbal contract is just equivalent as a written contract. And I urge anyone, if you own a Pinto, get a will. A will is something that you write out and say, if something happened to me, just write it out simple. Something happened to me and sign your name to it. That is a will. I don't care. Man, you got to protect yourself out here because laws change, people change, family members change, and hey, man, it's life. You know what I mean? So to financially protect yourself on earth, get a verbal contract or a written contract.
Dang, but do you think that because it was a family business at first, and I'm assuming that everything was good. Well, when the millions start coming in, like when you say y'all was over a $13 million budget, like
you know what, the millions didn't come. Look, I didn't even know that it was like that he made the millions. My grandfather was very cheap. We ate out basically the door money. So if we needed a Mercedes Benz, we'd call Plaza, give us the money, we go get it. But it wasn't. I didn't know that he made that much money until I actually saw the account. When I saw the account, my uncle was hiding the account for us because he had the same name as my grandfather, but he didn't have the same date of birth or Social Security. So the banks would not let him move the money. So he basically hid the money and made more money. So what he had planned to do was give his daughter the club. The last night we closed in September, I was there to close it out because wouldn't nobody come, so I decided to voluntarily come to close the Pink Slip out. She told me it was her club, and I asked her, how do you figure that it's your club? Don't nothing skip over me. I don't skip over no money, and I don't skip over business. So she basically blew me off, and I took it into court like 2 weeks later.
Man.
So she was trying to fight you for that club.
No, she didn't. It wasn't no fight.
Yeah, it wasn't no fight.
My mother became an executive. She sold me the club for $1, basically. It was a birthday present. So it was basically that, how can I say it? Sometimes it's not good to just leave things alone. If you notice that there's a problem, you don't wait 13 or 14 years. Because basically, if he was a smart guy, I wouldn't be sitting here right now because by law, it's called latches. Latches is when you let something go for a period of time. They could have struck me down in court, but they didn't because I had my paperwork.
Because we talking about that earlier. We talking about gotta have that paperwork together, man.
So,
but I'm saying, like, you guys could have did it together. They didn't have to do that.
Well, you know what? We could have did it together. What I do when I was there, I was doing the bookkeeping and I was doing basically the legal law, the aspect of anything was relating to prostitution, anything relating to underage drinking. Right. That was my job. When my grandfather died, he basically just, I don't want you back in the club no more, blah, 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 blah. That's the making of a thief. Right. You know what I mean? So
he can just cut you off and tell you don't come back in the club.
Well, it's a family business. He was heading the family, so sometimes you got to respect his wishes because he was spearheading the family then.
Oh, okay.
He never gave his sisters anything. We never seen the books. We never had. He said there was no more family meetings. It was nothing. Everything.
He canceled everything. It's gonna be my way.
Oh yeah, he right. You canceling family meetings? No, I smell a rat. You right. It's something going on.
He was over everything
because he basically. He didn't have no regards for us, and we didn't have no regards for us before the money came into play.
Okay,
he was the kind of guy. He never put anything for as far as the business. He just came in under the act of namesake. Well, I'm Madison Garrett's son. Okay, my grandfather wanted him to lead the family. Upon his death, we respected that. But how do you respect that when he's walking around looking like King Solomon, we walking around raggedy as a can of kraut?
As they say, as they always say, for most of you hustlers out there, you know, you got 30 people around you and they all look like bums and you out here looking like Archbishop Don Magic Wand. Somebody's gonna want a piece of that money. Yeah. Somebody's gonna want a piece of the pie.
You're gonna make a lot of people mad at you.
Oh yeah.
Now, with that being said, okay, so you're getting ready to, you said like getting ready to get things into motion. So of course you're gonna need the women to come in there. How do you screen these women to come in there? Like, is it a certain way you want them to look? Like,
well, basically,
they can't look busted, right? You need no busted females coming in there.
Well, In the past, under my uncle's reign, they had some busted and disgusted chicks. And,
I mean, listen.
I made a post on social media saying that we're not accepting any application from the old pink slip dancers. We're looking for new talent, not old talent.
Well,
Basically,
I'm experienced.
If you've been here since 1993, it's time to go.
That is true. That
Your
is
granddaughter's working here now.
She got
That
some
is
more
true.
shakes left.
You know? No, he right. The granddaughter working.
Granddaughter's she moves from the dance floor to the bartender position.
Dang.
The daughter is moving from the pole position to the kitchen area. She's serving food now, and the granddaughter's on the stage. So
Right.
I'm looking at it like you said, give it a good go. I say maybe a year and a half at the slip, a dancer would dance. After that, I'm terminating them. I just, you know what I mean? If customers don't want to see the same people hey, I just saw you at the gas station.
I mean,
just saw you in church.
That's true. That's true. I mean, now that's why she said, "What kind of girls are you looking for?" Because, like you said, in today's day and age, you're attracting the new. So
I'm
you're
looking for
attracting
bad bitches. I'm
There
looking
you
for
go.
bad bitches.
There you go.
I'm looking for those bad bitches. You know what?
fake ass and all. You don't care.
Yeah, all that jelly and no toe. That's my motto.
There you go. There you go. All the jelly, no
Okay,
toe.
now take me into the mindset of a stripper. Like, their whole objective is just to get your money.
No, that's not the whole objective of
Okay.
strippers to get your money. First, the question I'm going to ask you, could you take off your clothes and stand in front of a group of anybody, men, women?
Is that the
you
interview
cannot
Hell
process?
no,
do-
that take balls.
Right. So you have to drink a little bit. You have to smoke a little
True
bit.
that.
So that woman has a strong constitution.
Oh, yeah.
So she's not there to hustle you. She's there to basically perform and not twerk. I don't have any problem with the girls twerking. That's just a new thing they got in the strip clubs now. I'm used to pole dancing. So you're going to do a little bit of both. We have what you call pole dancing. We have what you call twerking. And what we do at the Pink Slip that made us famous, not just the smoke and the laser lights, because blacks had never seen smoke and laser lights. You know what I mean? And so what we're doing with the girls is basically, if you're nice looking, you got your head on right, hey man, come make some money, come make us some money. And that's the way it is. But looking for ugly girls, who basically does that? I want everybody to be fine. My bartenders has to be fine.
Yeah.
My cooks has to be fine.
Damn skippy.
Everybody has to be fine except for security.
All right. Now, with that
There
being
it
said, the
is.
security.
I like that.
The
Hey,
security.
there it is.
I would like to bring up the security. Now, man, with that being said, I know it's been like a lot of stuff like going on, like especially like with the women coming in, like as far as like the security of it, like are the people protected when they come in that establishment, including the patrons,
In
the
the past-
dancers,
in the past,
the dancers
they-
as well.
In the past, when my grandfather first started the business in 2003, it was protected, okay?
Right.
He made a lot of money, you know what I mean? And he had all his steps, he had everything covered. So basically it was security, the dance. He didn't it wasn't an incident while he was alive. Only when the son started micromanaging, meaning he didn't have to be at the club. If the dancer had a problem, he would call him a week later. No, the dancer has a problem now.
Right.
And with the security, I'm going back to the way my grandfather did things. You got to be there 24 hours a day. You got to have licensed security, and that ensures us our money. You know what I mean? The dancers, we have to watch the dancers too now, because a lot of those dancers has boyfriends, and basically they may bring in a gun, maybe say in their carry-on. We have to check that. You know what I mean? Dancers get checked too. Sometimes they tape knives to their legs. And, you know what I mean?
Razor
And when you
blades
have a
and
male security there, he basically don't want to touch the girl. Basically, okay, he basically look, you can't do that anymore. You basically have to go through X-ray because they'll hide him any place.
Yeah, that be
You
in
know
that
what I mean?
purse.
So,
Okay.
Question for you with that too, with the security thing and everything. So not only are you bulking up on security far as bodyguards and everything, but like I said, this is 2019. We're going into a new age. Are you bumping up on security with security footage? Because that's a real issue nowadays.
well, we have. That's what basically we had to turn over was the footage of witnessing one of our security guards blowing basically a customer's head off outside after a fight. He
Yeah.
was standing in line. So basically these guys knew each other. They had something going on outside the club. He was at his workplace, which was the Pink Slip. An argument ensues. He shoots the guy. Okay. So basically My job is to basically make sure that doesn't ever happen again. And if you are caught in the club with a club, we don't have a gun buyback program. These guys get busted with guns in the club and they want to buy the gun back. No, we do not have a gun buyback program. We have the Brooklyn Police Department for you. Now, if you hit a person inside the club, if you hit a person outside the club, in Illinois, we have new laws. So if you're in a club and you punch a guy, that's causing a catastrophe. That means 5 people had got interrupted inside a club. That is 6-30 under Illinois law.
Facts,
if
remember
you
that.
punch a guy on the sidewalk or a street of Illinois, that is not a misdemeanor. That is called aggravated battery. That's 2 to 5 years prison time mandatory.
Remember that shit.
So if you're in St. Louis and you don't know the
punch
laws
isn't
in
worth it.
Illinois, you will know the laws.
Punch not worth 2 to 5 years.
No violence.
Yeah,
It's
no.
like zero tolerance on the violence because it's not good, man.
So-
it's not good.
With another question I got for you, since because like you said, you've been on your law shit. So now that I got you in here and you on your law thing, speaking of the thing we was talking about earlier with the prostitution, because now, like I said, it is 2019. You got a lot of
Some
females who
sucking and
got.
fucking in the car.
Well, beyond that, you got a lot
In
of
the
females, a lot of female strippers, even the bartenders who have that Snapchat
Oh yeah,
premium
you know
shit.
what? We have to watch our bartenders more than we have to watch our dancers, basically. And the dancers are not basically the problem. It's the bartenders because
that's
the bartenders-
real rap right there. That's
You know
something
what I
the folks don't know.
We have what you call private booths. Okay, now the private girls can go in, guys get a private dance. They took those out. You know what I mean?
Wow.
I'm
Shit.
putting those private booths back in.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So they didn't know anything about the private booths, but it's laws to protect us and it's laws to protect them. So basically, if I post a sign stands that we don't allow any illegal activities, including prostitution. Hey, we don't. You know what I mean? We don't sell rubbers. We don't sell condoms and all that shit.
Right.
You know, it's for fun. You know what I mean? You come in, you have a good time, you go home.
Now, this is gonna be off the wall. Have you ever had to send a woman home because of their hygiene? Like
Yes,
I know
I
this
have.
is something my co-host wanted to talk about women hygiene.
I want to ask.
So I want to
man,
open up the thing.
yes,
You
I
go
have.
ahead, ask what you wanted to say.
As a young bug, cause okay, I'm 28. Okay, so I got my first time I ever been to the pink slip in my life was in 2017 when I was going on the age of 18.
Right.
Okay. I went in and my God, I was satisfied. Okay, first lap dance I ever got came from the pink slip and everything. I used to mess with a lot of girls who would go to the twerk contest and everything. And one day I had a girl pretty much say she got denied because
Say it.
before they get on the I'm gonna say it without a doubt. Before they do the concert, before they be elected to do the contest, they have to get smelled. So they said there was pretty much a designated person who would go through and would either stick his finger in that area or would pretty much go down there and smell that area.
We did that many years ago. It was called a pussy check. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And who started that was a place up the street called the Red Garter, which was a black guy named Sylvester Hurley. He ran up with some white guys out of Colorado. And our first time I ever heard that was with Sylvester Hurley. We was actually in the dressing room at the Red Garter, and he had a white guy going in doing pussy checks, smelling, touching. And if you wasn't right, you would be suspended for maybe a week or two. Now, the pink slip, what we're doing, we require the girls after the second set, go shower, freshen up, moisturize. But I've smelled a lot of girls. I smelled a lot of girls, not just at the pink slip, but a lot of clubs that these girls have that tangy, fishy smell.
Oh
True
my
that.
God,
You know what I
that's
mean?
embarrassing.
And that's
That
embarrassing.
is embarrassing. You
But-
can't come to the club.
She
like
working
that.
hard.
No,
It can mean she
with
working
fishy
hard.
smell, you cannot
She been
come to the
putting a
club
lot
like
of
that.
work
She been
in.
shaking
You
that
gonna turn
thing
away
all
the
night.
Yeah, you gonna be smelling good all
She
night.
been shaking
Hey,
that
but you
thing
know
all
what?
night.
I'm sorry.
That's offensive. You know what I mean? You know,
You all right.
we might have a girl. I witnessed this too. Okay, you had a customer at main stage. He's sitting there with a white suit on. Okay, she comes on her menstruation cycle.
Oh.
What?
It's all
Wait
over
a
his
minute.
suit.
What?
Now-
Can he sue for that?
No, but we gave him
So
maybe
it's blood all over his suit.
blood all over his suit. Yes, and what
How,
is it?
he
We-
can't come home to his wife like that with blood all over
Well,
his suit.
if
What are
his
you
suit,
doing?
if that was a $500 suit, we had to pay $1,000. You know what I mean? We don't have any sweatsuits, jumpsuits.
Look like he was
anything.
murdered.
Yeah, basically, like he was shot in the leg, in the lap.
Damn. I love it,
What
man.
if he got did he have a
Content,
wife? Did he have to go home?
I don't know if he
I
got a
hope he
wife or
did.
not, but to satisfy him, we had to pay a considerable amount. If his suit was $500, we paid $1,000.
Dang.
Okay. There we
Came
go.
here to get a lap dance.
Well, at least y'all know.
But basically, what he
take care.
did is he went home and he came back. And didn't have no problem. He got $1,000 in his pocket. You know what I mean? So basically, he's good.
He came back. He probably threw something.
He came back because we was a good sport about it, because that's business. If you came in the club and an accident happened, we have to rectify that right there. It's not such thing as a lawsuit. Who wants to spend hours? You know what I mean?
Right.
Hey, man, cash him out right here, right now.
Man, this is all great, valuable information, man. We definitely appreciate you coming up here
Thank
and
you.
just like giving us your story. Like,
One more. Any strippers stick out to you that like just for us over the years that you feel like is a great interview, a good person?
Several. Unique out of Milwaukee. Her name is Shay Rogers. You have Privanella, which her name is Rhonda Johnson. Chrissy Moet, she was a good dancer there. And basically, a lot of those girls, they went on, they didn't become drug addicts or anything like that. They moved on life. They own homes. Some of them own businesses. Some of them work normal jobs. So we had a lot of girls from the SIU colleges, SLU colleges that come over and dance. These girls are not just street girls. These girls are actually college students. Some of them are college students, and they're for one thing. They're there for the money and to move on. And you know what I mean? It's good.
People need to hear those.
That's a
type
good
of
light
stories.
that you put that out there. Like, not these girls that just off the street.
Right, it's not really, we don't have really off the street girls, because you have to fill out an application. If you don't know how to fill out the application, you're not going to get hired. I don't care if you have a high school diploma or not. If you don't know how to fill out an application,
I can't fill out an application, but this ass fat.
The ass fat, but you know what? You can't do it there. You know what I mean? Because you know what? How do you converse with the customers? You know what I mean? Here we got doctors, lawyers, firemen, off-duty police officers.
That is true.
What about
if
if
you
she
don't know
deaf?
how to hold a conversation? Give me $1 for a tip.
A deaf woman with a fat
Buy me a
ass.
drink.
Like,
That's not entertainment.
Yeah,
that's
all right.
hustling.
that's not gonna get my
That's
money
hustling.
neither.
If she
No.
can't
Asking for
talk.
no dollar, no tip.
Let me offer to buy you a drink.
There you go.
What if
Nice,
she can't?
man.
What if she can't talk? Like she can't. She just got
He
a
said you
fat
gotta
ass, nice
interpret
face.
it.
9
in
times
there.
out of 10, if she can't talk, that means she came in a wheelchair.
Nah, she just
What?
Some people can't
That
talk.
means if she can't talk, she came in a wheelchair.
It's useless to him, basically. Ain't nothing he can do with that.
Yeah,
Like,
that is true.
I can't.
Handicap.
How am I get it? How am I
That's
get it?
a
How am I get
handicap.
it?
Yeah.
I wouldn't be doing the viewers no justice. I wouldn't do your strip club no justice if I didn't ask. What was the wildest story you've ever had? What's the wildest shit beyond the shooting and everything? What's the wildest shit with your females that you've ever had to deal with between the females and the customer? Like, has a customer ever stalked a female, waited outside or some shit, or tried to fight with security for the love of
You know
one of
that
the
scene
guys?
on the Players Club where the guy comes in, Diamond's customer follows her home to an apartment building?
Yeah.
That goes on a lot.
God damn.
So basically,
Damn.
if the guy's coming to the club and he's coming to the club every day to see you, and he's chipping you mad money,
Yeah.
be careful. You know what I mean? I tell all the girls to be careful. We
All right, be
careful.
we escort the girls out to the parking lot, into their cars. Once they're in their cars and they're in motion, our responsibility ends. But that doesn't mean to go around the corner and then you start, you know what I mean, making plans or whatever. That has nothing to do with us or the club. So, a lot of girls, they have, everybody has sense, you know what I mean, logic and reason. Everybody has logic and reason.
Yeah.
Those girls have logic and reason. Fortunately, we have none kidnapped, we have none killed as a result of customers, so knock on wood. Besides the shootings, the guns that we're going to eliminate, hey, it's all good. You know what I mean?
All
So,
right, definitely
I will
wish
be
you.
up in that.
Definitely wish you the
I'm
best. And man,
going.
we'll check out the grand opening.
Damn,
We definitely
man.
will. My
You gonna be
birthday's
there?
in June.
Is it?
Yeah, it's in
I'm
June.
gonna be in
So
there,
we'll
bitch.
definitely check out the grand
I'll be
opening.
back
But
in
that
the
being
States.
said,
I'm gonna be on
thanks
my
for coming out,
shit.
man. Definitely
Thank you.
appreciate
I'm
your
glad to
time and
be
your
here.
story. Thank you guys for tuning
Thank
in
you.
to Twisted Youngins. Make sure you check out the Pink Slip. The grand opening will be in June. Look out for the alerts for it. And I'm Myra.
It's your boy Dave.
This is Desi Des.
You're tuning in to Twisted Youngins. Thank you.
Thank you.
Wow.